Welcome to the Intercultural Division of Global Holdings Limited. We are rapidly expanding with offices around the world. As an associate in the division, you will be asked to apply your knowledge of intercultural communication. At our last planning meeting, we selected high-priority, time-sensitive challenges which require creating an intellectual asset. Our divisional leaders will ask for your support on the projects. They have already created some resources to assist you. Use any additional resources to meet the challenges. Many of the challenges require you to work with another associate or team. Some do require you to make an individual contribution. Our divisional leaders will present you with the challenges. Dr. Charles Findley at Northeastern University will serve as your mentor and advisor. I will pop in from time to time to check on you. Welcome.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you, James, for that introduction to Global Holdings Limited. What I'd like to do today is, first of all, talk about the four-phase model that we used for challenge-based learning to develop the simulation, then talk about and highlight some of the challenges in the simulation, and then finally conclude with a discussion of some of the challenges that we faced creating and implementing the challenge, and what we need to look at or address as we move forward. So, first of all, four phases in the challenge-based model. The pre-challenge, the pre-challenge, the challenge, and the post-challenge. In the pre-challenge model phase, we actually designed the structure of Global Holdings Limited. We created and scripted the particular challenges using Voki avatars and speech synthesis. We curated and identified supporting resources to help the learning associates actually engage in the challenge. In the pre-challenge stage, we actually used the Voki avatars as a representative of Global Holdings from their different departments to present the challenge. Each of the challenge presenters also prepared a memo with important information about what was expected to create the artifact that they were looking for as a completion of the particular challenge. During the challenge phase, the learning associates engaged in interpersonal mediated communication with each other, or they engaged in mediated team project-based communication. And then finally, in the post-challenge stage, the learning associates received feedback from the consultant. They also engaged in discussion with other learning associates, and they debriefed about the process that they engaged in. So now, let's look at some of the highlights of Global Holdings Limited and first challenge for the learners.
I am glad you are here. I have to introduce the new delegate of the group on Wednesday. I want to focus on their background, ethnicity and culture. You know, anything that the group might want to know. Just interview one of the new ones and send me an outline for an introduction so I can use it for the meeting. Just do one of those three-part speech outlines. That's all I need. I can take it from there. Thanks. I really appreciate your help. I'll put some stuff in a folder for you just in case you need it. Greetings everybody. News today. We have just partnered with SpaceX to establish a new division on Ross 120A by 2020. We must start planning now so we are ready at launch time. We will be establishing a little community on location RB 128. We need to develop our design specifications. We need to define the environment, the form of government, what type of people we expect to live there, and describe the religion or worldviews the people might have. You know all the basic stuff that goes into making a community. On the top of the list is the cultural values. We need you to tell us what those values will be. Some of the values that have served us well here may not work for us there. We have an opportunity for a fresh beginning. I've got a handout from the planning committee to let you know what they want. What more can I say? This is a great opportunity for us.
Our associates travel to different countries or video conference with team members in different countries. They may speak the language or use instant translation to communicate. But the verbal message is not the whole message. We must also understand the important nonverbal messages, what is not said. We need to develop some guidance which focuses on nonverbal communication. You know, things such as eye contact, handshakes, how to dress, all the things that might be different for those traveling or conferencing outside our stateside headquarters. I would like to start out with some simple infographics covering the most important aspects of nonverbal communication and rituals. I have worked out a simple design for our infographics and the content I think we should include. I will get the information to you immediately so we can get to work.
Malcolm Wainwright here. Training and development. Thank you for helping us in the past. We're facing a real problem. We depend too much on non-renewable energy. Our energy use is a business and a social issue. Our energy use affects our profit and harms our reputation around the world. Those who have less energy don't even have the power to use the things manufactured by those with more energy. We want to be lean, clean and green. Here is where you come in. We want to develop new case studies to help our managers understand the trade-off between benefits and costs of their energy use decisions. We want everyone to understand the energy crisis and how that affects us around the world. We have already started thinking about this and strategizing. I'll share the background information with you. I will get off my soapbox now and let you get started. I want to say, I am impressed with the way you have demonstrated knowledge of different aspects of culture. I have a final challenge for you. We have hired a recruiter to help us expand. We need to hire people who are the right fit. The recruiters want specific information about our organizational culture. I want to give them something they can work with next month when they roll out our talent search. I want a short PowerPoint presentation and a written report about the culture of different divisions. The recruiters will share the information with the top candidates to help them decide if they will fit in our culture here. I will pass along the information they need. I have asked my consultant to set up the teams and assign a moderator for each team. You will be hearing from the consultant shortly. So, now let's get the teams together and get to work.
To wrap up our presentation, I'd like to mention that we had a total of 9 different challenges, plus a challenge to develop 2 different case studies to be used in training and development concerned with contemporary global issues. And then the learning associates were challenged to create an analysis of a culture and then prepare a PowerPoint slide presentation of that analysis for new recruits so that they could understand whether they would fit into the organization or not. What are some of the challenges that we faced? One was actually selecting, creating, and structuring the total environment in a limited amount of time. We also wonder whether using the Voki avatars has enough media richness to create a simulated environment. The avatars are flexible in that we can modify them, adapt them as necessary. We also want to look at the curated supporting resources to understand if we can add more resources or create a different path through the resources to support the learning associates. We also want to look at actually how we support the communication processes that the learners are engaging in. They are engaging in interpersonal mediated communication and team-based interpersonal communication. How do we support those processes in the simulated learning environment? We also want to make sure that the artifacts and the challenges that the learners are engaging in actually represent the real-world tasks that they will experience as communication professionals.